Alright, I just wanted to make a video about legitimizing your business. This is something that's super important, guys. I mean, if you don't have a legitimate business, then what are you even doing? Like, you're probably chasing customers, you're probably just wasting your time, you might even be wasting money on ad spends. And if you want a legitimate business where people are actually going to perceive you as being valuable, as what you're doing is valuable, then this is what you do. Okay. So I'm just going to improvise this. I'm just going to go off the top of my head because this is how I feel I can provide the most value to everybody, because I'm speaking from my own experience here. So I'm just going to move this over here. So I just wrote all this stuff out. I'm just going to paste it in. And I'm just going to put this stuff way down and work it in here. So why I'm making this video? The reason I'm making this video is because you can charge so much more doing the same thing if people have peace of mind. If you can just get people's assurance in their minds that what you're doing is legitimate, that you're going to provide a great service, that you're going to provide a great product, you can charge way more for the exact same thing, whether it's a product or a service or whatever it is. You can charge way more. Okay, so we're just going to put this up here. So you can charge so much more doing the same thing. People have peace of mind. That's why I'm making this video, because you're probably sick of wasting your time. Like, I got sick of wasting my time, and time is money, guys. Time is money. So why is it so important to legitimize your business? Because, as I wrote down here, you will waste your time chasing customers. You will waste time, and time, like I said, is money. Okay? You'll waste time chasing customers, and you will waste money if you don't have credibility, because if you run ads and people don't trust your business, then you will accomplish nothing with that ad spend. Nothing. Okay? People aren't going to buy. And if they do, they're only going to buy at a discount. Building credibility is the number one way that you can actually make so much more money doing the same thing. And I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but this is going to be the emphasis in this video, is how you can make more doing the same thing. Okay. How many times have you been on social media about getting leads? All these agencies, they're running ads, they're doing all this stuff, whatever it is. The issue with these companies is they don't know your business. Every business is unique, man. Every single business is unique. They don't know your business, okay? They might say they know your industry. They might say they know econ. They might say they know your landscape industry, your retail business, your contracting business, whatever it is. They might say they know it, but they don't. And they don't know your mission. And that is a complex thing that can be worked on. And that voice of what your business is all about, that can be hammered to make you so much more money doing, like I said, the same thing. You don't have to offer new services or skills. You can do the same thing in a legitimized way, which I'm talking about people's perception, because legal legitimacy is something that I hope that you have already done. But basically, that's why it's so important, because you will waste time and you'll waste money if you don't do this. If you don't legitimize your business, that's what you're going to do. Okay. I want to talk about AI here too, but AI is something that is a little bit above where we're at. So basically, this is why this is so important. Right here. Great. We're just going to put that down here for now. Okay. Now, let's do a little review of the simplest things that you can do to make your business legitimate in the eyes of clients. And clients are the ones who pay, so clients are the ones who matter. Okay? Because we're in this to make money. We're not in this to have fun. Okay? It can be fun making money once you're making it. It's not very fun making money when you're not making any. Okay? So let's focus here. Why I'm making this video? You charge so much more doing the same thing. People have peace of mind. Why it's so important. You'll waste your time chasing customers if you don't have credibility. You obviously don't want to waste time, and you'll waste money if you don't have credibility. Ads accomplish nothing if people don't trust your brand. Okay? How many times have you seen ads that don't accomplish anything and you just want to skip them and they're wasting your time, right? Those people don't know your business. How do you establish an image of your business that makes it legitimate in the eyes of clients, that allows you to dictate what you're all about and allows you to charge more for the same things? Okay. How are we going to do that? This is how you do it right here. Let's run through this. Let's call it steps to security. That's what we're going to call this little lesson here. Okay. We're going to call it steps to security because if you're secure in your mission and your values as a business, then you can charge what you want. So, step one, steps to security. Give yourself a name, please. Just give yourself a name. The amount of businesses and contractors and these people who actually run around not even sure what the name of their business is incredible. It's not incredible because it's real. But basically, give yourself a name. And it doesn't have to stand out, but give yourself a name. This might seem so absurd that I'm saying this in a video about business because you say you already have a name. Have you even created a domain on the internet with that name? If you haven't, then you don't have that name, okay? You don't have that name if you haven't created a domain yet. All right, so this is what you're going to do. You're going to give yourself a name. And you're going to lock it in by securing a domain. Okay, so let's do an example here. Example, you have a flower business, like FLOUR, flower business. This I saw this somewhere. Okay, so you're going to be Mike's Flower. This is a ridiculous example, but it gets the point home. Okay, Mike's Flower. That's what they're going with, okay? You go on the internet, look up Mike's Flower. There is no website. You're immediately not going to buy. You're immediately not going to buy from that business, okay? Would you buy from a business that doesn't have a domain in their own name? No, of course you wouldn't because they're not legitimate. Okay, the internet was invented a long time ago. If you don't have a name and a secured domain with that name, you don't have a business. Okay, you don't have a business. So Mike's Flower, all Mike has to do, Just go online. There are a bunch of services that do this. I will give you a heads up. Google does not offer domain registration anymore as of 2024. So you can just go to Squarespace because they're basically subbing it out to Squarespace anyway. So save yourself some time. Just go to Squarespace and get yourself a domain. Okay, that's basically simple as it is. You can see I have this open right here, and I made a domain name just to see how it went. And it's super simple. It's like $15 to $100 to register your domain for a year. It's a joke. Okay. So we're just gonna go to Squarespace, and I'm gonna link this to the video description, this document too, so you can just have this note sheet. But go to Squarespace, register a domain. You're basically ranging from anywhere I saw from $15 a month to $100, right? Pick something that's legit though. Pick something that is actually in line with your brands. Like if you have Mike's Flour, for example, we're just gonna go and register Mike's Flour.com. Alright, that would be ideal. That might not be available, but you could do or .co. That probably is going to be available. Something that is legitimate looking, not some crazy social media username from 2012 that you're gonna be selling products under. Okay, this is so fundamental here. Alright, great. So now we have miceflour.com or .co, or you could, even if that's not available, or flour from Mike.com, something like that. That sounds kind of ridiculous, but you get the point. So make it legit, make it look professional. Okay, people are gonna Google your business if you don't have a good, legitimate website. Then what are you doing, guys? What are you doing? Okay, that's pretty basic. Give yourself a name, steps to security, lock it in with a domain. That's actually number one. Okay, it's 2024. Let's have a website with a name. Like, the amount of businesses that don't have this, it's a lot. Okay, so now locked it in. Great. What are you gonna do next? Email, guys. Email address. Okay, so we're gonna set up, now that you have a domain, say miceflour.com, we're gonna do set up an email with domain name. This is another simple way to legitimize yourself. And you might not believe it. It might not seem worth the work at first, but this is just textbook stuff here. This is going to get a lot more interesting, this video. This is super boring, I know, but this is important. So I have an email with the domain name. Okay, now you have mikesflour.com, and we're going to do Mike at mikesflour.com. Great. Now, if you have someone looking for your business, if you want to market, if you want to do anything in terms of acquiring new customers, now you have your name at your business name, and all of your emails can get sent to this. Now, how do you set this up? It's as simple. On Squarespace, for example, you can basically set up your Gmail account with this domain name. Okay, So you can also just set up a Gmail account. Like I just did it earlier. You can see my tab open here for Gmail. I just set this up for a business, and it's really as simple as going to Gmail. I'll just show it on here. Don't really want to show my information on here. But basically, you just go to Gmail, set up business account, type in your domain name above, choose your name, and you're good to go. Great. Okay. Now you have an email with your domain name. You have a domain name. This stuff, I mean, you're looking at probably sub $100 to do all of this, and you probably save yourself hundreds of hours of headaches just by having this stuff over the years. Like, people are not going to pay you a lot of money to do anything unless you have this stuff set up. Okay, they're just not. And you're now what we're going to get to is your website, because your website, this is probably the easiest part of all of this, believe it or not. But 3, and this, once again, I get it. This is super fundamental stuff, but a lot of people don't do this. And this is the type of thing where it's like, you set this stuff up, you're good for a year. You're good. Now you can run your marketing campaigns. Now you can run your email campaigns. Now you can do all this stuff. A lot of these, like Gmail, for instance, or through Squarespace with your email, you can actually set up like 300 different. You can actually, I think it actually is. You can set up 300 different emails to send stuff with, so that we're not going to get into that right now. But basically, you're good for a year if you do this stuff. So, set up. Let's make this a little bit more exciting. Get your business a website. Okay. So this is where a lot of people make a big mistake with this stuff. This is where a lot of people make a big mistake, is they go through Squarespace, they go through Wix, they go through these sites, and the site charges them $250, $300, something like that. It's not super cheap. And it's largely created by AI in a lot of cases, and it's a terrible website. It's not interesting. It doesn't stand out. The copy is bad on there. It's super stamped out. There's a million other websites like it. And if someone clicks on that, they're going to go, oh, okay, it's a website. They're probably not going to give you an email. They're probably not going to sign up for anything. And they're probably not going to buy anything because it's a boring website. And they're already out by the time they even get to that website. As soon as they see one of these stamped out sites. So basically, this is very simple. Depending on what you're offering and depending on what you want to do with your business, it's going to obviously affect what type of website you create. It's going to obviously affect this. But say your objective before you create your website. So don't just create a website to have one. Create a website to make money. Okay, let's keep this in mind here. This is what we're doing, guys. We're creating a website to make money. We're not doing this for some type of fun project. Okay, we're doing this to make money. So, ask yourself these 3 questions before you make a website. All right, number 1. So we're just gonna ask yourself these questions. So, number one, what is your goal with this website? If your goal is to look legit, then all you need is to have a website, okay? If your goal is to show what you do, then obviously that's going to change the type of website. But basically all you need for a website, if your goal is to look legit, as is in the scope of this video, is something like this. So I just made this earlier. Something like, something like this. That's all you need. Basic. This is going to cost like $20 probably. Not even to get this done. I'm just going to pause this quick. Okay, I just pulled this up. I just wanted to show an example of all you need to be legit. Okay, this is something I made. This probably took me 5 minutes. Now the branding and everything, that's all licensed. I did that through a different site, but basically you get some pictures, you do a little bit personalized copy here. Basically, hey, glad you made it. Looking to onboard clients making over 6 figures in their online business. Only 5 spots available, closing July 20th. Let's connect. Now we have this download more info, but this can easily be made into a button that you can get people's email. So now you have people's email. You have your social media links down here. Now you have a website. Okay, great. Now you have a place to at least send people when you do have marketing, you do have campaigns, you do have this stuff, and keep it simple, folks. Keep it simple. You don't need some crazy AI website that has 50 different tabs and 7 different effects when you're scrolling through it and all of this stuff. Like, you know how many people do that now? It doesn't stand out. Basic personal message, just like this. That's all you need. That's all you need. You don't need to list every single thing that you do. That's something that can be followed up with clients who are actually interested. Now, if you have a product page or something like that, that might be a little bit different. Okay, that might be a little different, but keep it simple. So I'm going to write this down. If your goal is to look legitimate, that's all you need right there. Keep it simple as possible. Simple as possible. And let's just scroll this down. And don't use AI regardless of what your goal with the site is. Period. Don't use AI, okay? Don't use AI for this. This is something that you should be writing the copy for, or hire someone to write the copy for you, because this is what people see. This is a face of your business. That's why you're keeping it so simple here, because you don't want to make a complicated thing when your business is just getting legitimized. You don't want to complicate it. As simple as possible. Keep it as simple as possible. Okay. Number 2, when you're making a website, like we said, is what are you getting from visitors? Because say your goal is to legitimize, like we're doing in this video. Now, what are you getting from visitors? There has to be something, okay? Could be an email. Could be a phone number. This would apply more to local businesses probably. Or it could be a social media following, right? Something like that. Something like that. Because all this is it's essentially a landing page. Your website, when you start off, it's a landing page so that you can get people's info. So, info. You can get people's info, and then you can pursue further with that customer through email, phone number, social media following. Again, depends on your business, but this is how you start. Now, the third question you're going to ask yourself when you're making this website, after what's your goal with this website for this video is to legitimize. What are you getting from visitors? Info, whether it's email, phone number, social media following, something like that. You're getting something from the people who are visiting. And for this video, we're doing information. You're looking to get some type of contact info from your customer. Okay, great. Now, the last question you want to ask yourself is, do you have a follow-up plan? Do you have a follow-up plan? When you get this information, when you get the email, when you get the phone number, when you get the social media following, how do you continue that funnel of you got someone to the web, someone went to your website, they gave you their email, phone number, social media, whatever it is. How are you going to follow up with that? Okay, while you're making this website, just come up with that plan before you do anything else with this, because there's no point in getting all these emails, numbers, everything if you're not following up with them right away. So, do you have an offer? Do you have are you going to call them? Are you going to hire people to follow up with the emails? Are you going to... This stuff is all next level. But basically, have a concept in mind at least. Of how you're going to use this information to make money. Great. All right, so now we have a name. We have it locked in with a domain. Great. We have an email with a domain. Very professional. Okay, great. Now we have a website. Those three things. Now you have a place to send people. Now you have a place to collect information. And now you have some type of legitimacy in the eyes of potential customers. If you have these three things, that is all you need to establish some type of legitimacy. Now I'm going to make another video here about how you're going to capitalize on people having a legitimate view of what you're doing, because you could have no social media following or very little social media following. You could go to a local business, say you had a marketing business, for instance, or say you had a Facebook ad agency. You can go to a local business, you can give them your website, you can give them your name, you can give them your website, and you can give them a place to type in their email and get them on some type of email list just from this list. Now you're professional.